Oh, hi. Hey, come on in. Come on in. Here, let me hang my coat up over here a minute and get rid of this cigar. Well, welcome to Tuesdays with Rusty. I'll take my hat off too. I'd like to talk today about one of my favorite drinks. Simple, but sexy. The Martini. The Martini was very popular around the early 1900s, and there had been a great resurgence in the 1990s, since the 1990s too. Basically, the classic Martini is equal parts gin, equal parts white vermouth, and you can garnish it with a citrus fruit in the summer and olives in the winter, or vice versa, or do anything you want. It now ranks, in my opinion, as one of the most corrupted drinks in the world, because a martini was a very good and a very powerful drink. And frankly, it was H.L. Mencken who said it's the only American invention as perfect as a sonnet. But now if you go into a bar and order a martini, you can get an appletini, you can get a espresso martini, you can get a kangaroo cocktail, whatever that is. Most of the martinis are made with vodka instead of gin. It's a terrible trend, in my opinion. Now, theoretically, if you ask for a dry martini, they would put a little less vermouth in it. More gin, less vermouth. If you ask for a very dry martini, very dry martini, I'm down to hold the vermouth. Sometimes they would put some in the glass and swish it around and pour it out, or sometimes you want me to run the cap over your drink from the from the vermouth bottle. I'll tell you now how to make a very simple martini, and it's great this way. And now watch closely and take some notes, because this is very complicated. Take a nice martini glass from your freezer. You take some gin, Beefeater, Tanqueray. Tanqueray is a new gin of choice in this household, since we're buying it in bulk for double consumption. You add the super chilled gin to the frozen martini glass. In this instance, a lime. You can coat the edge, squeeze it in. Now that is a perfect martini. Don't get hung up on the vermouth. You don't need it. It's not good for you. Now I know, as I said before, there are a lot of variations on the martini. The only one I abide is the Negroni. You take a nice Italian liqueur, the Campari, and you add a little bit of Campari to this. This was invented about 1919 by Count Camillo Negroni in Florence, Italy. Or so they say. Who really knows? But if you add just a little bit to your drink, it makes, you can get this off. It's a sweet liquor. Anyway, you pour a little bit in. Now, if you're ordering at a bar or whatever, you're going to look at it. You're going to say, I like to say, well, make it. They say, how much? Well, you don't want a lot. You just want a little. I always say, make it nipple pink. You'll be surprised what that does to your drink. Now, there are always this arguments about shaking or stirring martinis. Well, I have to tell you, James Bond likes them shaken, not stirred, but that's not a martini, that's called a Bradford. So now you learned something today. Now, my favorite quote about martinis is from Dorothy Parker. She said, "I like to have a martini, 2 at the very most, 3 and I'm under the table, 4 and I'm under the host." So, be careful, count your drinks, enjoy an excellent, excellent martini. So long.